higher rating you would be giving if it is easier to get implemented. So with the help of that, there is a score that comes. So how it is being calculated? You multiply this with 10 and you get a sum. And if any solution has a rating of 200 and above, that will be considered as a high impact solution, and anything which is medium and low, which is a low kind of or medium impact. So you can prioritize it with the rating. If you get 5 solutions which are more than 200, so you can prioritize it. You can pick the 250th first and then 230th second, or 225th later, and so on and so forth. So this rating has to be done very diligently. This is to be done with the help of project team members, with the help of the project champion also, because they know what sort of severity it is going to have to implement these solutions. Okay. Having said, you can use your own selection metrics also. So you can give a time here also. So likewise, I have 3 here. You can give a time here as well. And I think somebody said number of resources I would require. You can use that criteria as well. So it's up to you what sort of a criteria you can use. This is the most common one, which is generally used for projects. But if in your case, the solutions which would have dependencies on people who is going to implement it, then you can put that as a caveat to ensure that there is a number of resources also, which is having an impact. So is it good to go? Would you be able to do this exercise with the team if you do a project?
Yes. So similar for the cost bit,
Yes.
lower the cost, higher would be the rating, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yes. And for ease as well.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is something which we will do with the prioritization of solutions. Okay. Once the solutions are being prioritized, okay, so I will go back and use the Excel. So I started with 30, 15, 10, and I identified, let's say, 20 solutions. Cause has, let's say, 2 solutions. And when I did the ease impact matrix tool, I came up with 5 solutions that implementing I'll be working on it. So I've identified, prioritized these 5 solutions needs to be implemented. Yeah. But these solutions will not get implemented on its own. I have to make an action plan for it. Okay. To make an action plan for it, there is a prioritization. There is a tool which is called 4W1H. Remember, we use 4W1H in the define phase also for making problem statement. Do you remember? Yes.
Yes.
Similarly, 4W1H is a tool to be used to deploy solutions. It is very, very simple, but it's a very good tool, very, very good tool. If you use it diligently, you would be able to track all the solutions in a perfect way. So let's discuss this one by one. So since you'll be mapping it with the causes that you have, okay. So here you mention the confirmed cause. Here you mention what is the solution that you will be implementing. Where are you going to implement the solution? Probably which particular state, which particular city, which particular area. By when you would be implementing this solution. Who will be implementing it and how it will be done. So there is an example given here. Process gap was the cause, and there was a training which is supposed to be conducted. It is to be done in the auditorium 3rd of June, and there is a person whose name is ABC will be doing this training. And how it will be done, you should mention a detailed plan. So for example, if there is a transformation which is supposed to happen for integrating 5 or 6 applications which were earlier not integrated, they were standalone applications. People have to work on all the applications to process, and they have to enter the details again and again. It requires a lot of manual work, but with the help of your IT team, you have implemented those applications. In how it will be done, 𝐻𝐴IR, you will have to mention the detailed plan. So if you want to take certain approvals from somebody, if you want to check with the vendors, if you want to take sign-offs, how you will be integrating this solution. So you have to detailed mention how it will be done. And then you will be keeping a track of whether it is implementing or not. So you can make more layers of each of the solutions that you have. So this is a solution which helps you to deploy the solutions that you have. So 4W1H can be used here in the improved state also. So this is to be done for all the prioritized 5 solutions, implemented solutions that you need to make the 4W1H tool. Okay. Now there is a very important tool that we are going to talk about, which is called the failure mode effect analysis, which is also known as FMEA. Okay. So FMEA is a tool which helps us to work on some of the areas where the error has not yet occurred. So when we occur any problem, we do the analysis and we try to work on that problem. We try to fix it. So let's say, for example, your laptop is not working, okay, and you're not able to log into the network. So in that case, the error has already occurred, right? And you will call the IT team, or probably you will do some troubleshooting, check with your friends and check with you will refer some documents and try to fix that problem. Okay, wherein the problem has already occurred and you have taken certain decisions to solve it. That is a normal traditional approach, which is called the root cause analysis. FMEA, failure mode effect analysis, is a technique wherein you anticipate what sort of failure modes it can happen, and before that you take a decision. So likewise, in the same example, you being very proactive, you already have a backup in place. So let's say if I have a training to conduct, okay, and I want to ensure that my network doesn't fail, I will ensure that I have at least 2 or 3 backups in place. If one doesn't work, I would be able to work on the second one. If second doesn't work, I'll be able to work on the third one. Okay, so that activity is wherein I'm anticipating the failure beforehand and working on it proactively. That technique is called FMEA, wherein before even the error is occurred, I'm trying to implement it in the.
So is it more like a business continuity plan kind of a thing, Simarpreet?
No.
Business continuity plan, you can relate it to an extent, but you can use FMEA in the business continuity plan. Business continuity plan is a very wide subject, wherein you ensure that there are backups in place, wherein you ensure that people can walk from different locations, people would doesn't get stopped. There are 4 sites. Why I'm having 4 or 5 sites? So that if there is one side down, I'll be able to walk on the another side. That's a very wide kind of a topic. So FMEA is similarly somewhat like that, but here we use certain techniques to anticipate what sort of failure that I can have and work on that proactively. So like root cause analysis is a reactive tool wherein the problem has already occurred. FMEA is a proactive approach wherein you anticipate what sort of failures it can have and you deploy solutions before them. So that is
what it is more process oriented, right? For a project or a process oriented.
Yes, so it can be process oriented, it can be project oriented, it can be organization oriented. Okay. FMEA is one perfect tool which can be used in any sort of. You can use FMEA in the measure phase also, because when you anticipate the failures, let's say if you're doing a project on improving on reducing the waste in a process or probably reducing the breakage, there's a lot of breakage which happens due to that the customer doesn't accept the product and consider it as a defect. So there's a lot of breakage or a lot of defect is there in the organization, and you're doing a project on it. So with the help of FMEA, you will be able to anticipate that when the defect comes, what sort of solutions that I'll be able to implement beforehand. So typically you can use the FMEA in improve phase also when you're deploying solutions, before deploying solutions, when you're in the analyze phase, when you try to identify the causes, and you can use it in outside the project also when you're doing a normal process, when you are the process manager and you want to do it. Another thing which I want to tell you is FMEA is not a